So I'm glad you're with us. I'm Clay Banks. They call me Coach because that's what I do, and I want to coach you right now in a quick teaching on the methodologies of different acting technicalities. Hey, look at that alliteration, right? Okay, so here's the thing. The reason I don't really even want to address Method and Meisner, there's a bunch of videos out there on Method and Meisner. I want to talk to you about the transcendental dynamic to these names and what they're actually all about, okay? Now, look at it this way. You've got brilliant acting performance, and I want you to think about that as like a Thanksgiving Day meal, okay? This brilliant acting performance, really scrumptious food, all right? Now, to get to a brilliant acting performance, you can approach it several different ways, all right? This would be, are we coming at it through Strasberg, through Adler, through Meisner, Stanislavski, Chekhov, we're coming through it, Alexander, maybe Spolin. Whose approach, whose style? All those names are these amazing coaches that have become famed because they took an aspect of this meal and kind of perfected it and put a title on it. And that's the vegetables and the starch and the carbohydrates and the proteins and the drinks. All these dynamics come together to create the meal. All these methodologies, technicalities, and processes come together to help us get to the ultimate answer. And here it comes. You ready for this? The ultimate answer for the actor is believable truth in an imaginary circumstance. However, I also want to bust that one out as well. Because when you believe in the imaginary circumstance strong enough, that imaginary circumstance becomes real. And it's no longer imaginary. Yeah, it's imaginary, but it isn't imaginary because to the subconscious mind, it does not know the difference between real nor perceived. So when the perception of something, in this case the imagination, becomes so real, it becomes truth. So it's no longer an imaginary situation, it's an actual situation where the character is believable in the actual situation. Now, that's what actors are all aspiring towards when they're taking on a character and performing the narrative. All right? Now, how we go about doing that is kind of like, again, another metaphor. That's the building. What ladder are we going to lean against that building in order to get to that believable truth? That's where you get these different processes that come in. So when we're dealing with something like, say, method or the methodology, the method work, there are a lot of different ways to explain that and what it's all about and how, once it's explained, it becomes interpreted as well. It's always going to come back to what's going to get us to that believable truth. Now, whether we're going about it from the place of I already have the experience in me and I'm going to draw from it. I don't have the experience in me, but I'm going to imagine the experience and I'm going to draw from that. I don't have it in me and I can't really imagine it, so I'm going to go out and research it either through reading and discovering or through actual firsthand application, but we will find that, and now that experience does become real, and we connect to that. Then we can go into the other process of let's get past ourselves and let's really put our concentration and attention on the other person. Now, when my focus and concentration is on the other person, what they're feeling and what they're dealing with, it's not going to be about, on me, so I can't anticipate anything. Ooh, that's telling us we should be at the 5-minute mark. But, boom. So we're 5 minutes into this video. I'm going to wrap it up for you in about a minute, okay? By putting our concentration and attention on the other person, what happens now is that we're not in this place of anticipation of what's going to happen next and we're going to be moment to moment. Now, if we're breathing and we're opening up the instrument through breath and we're allowing the emotions to activate and become more available, If we're out of the moment and we're in an off-balanced moment and we're actually becoming more real. These are all technicalities to get us to be real, to respond real, to behave real, to not be melodramatic and to not be foretelling, but to actually be in the moment. Now, which process works? Yeah, that depends on a whole lot of other things that I'm not really going to cover in this video right now. So if you're digging what I'm talking to you about right now, follow us on our socials, and you can find the full 40-minute teaching on this topic where I do a deep dive into these technicalities and show you how to line up the right one or ones for you, okay? So go ahead and hit us up in the comment box. Let us know what process you use, if any, or what's interesting to you. And I'd like you to subscribe and like us if you want to see more videos like this, okay? I'm Coach Banks. I got to run, but remember, keep creative.